like my burritos.
I'm John Morgan, the founder of Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan? Dude, this is not a PR improvement for this guy. This guy came here to make enemies.
To Forbes, I'm a billionaire. Ask me anything.
This is so funny. The only person who would understand this more than like anyone would be this guy. It's like, according to Forbes, he's not a billionaire, guys. None of them are billionaires.
My first question is, how much are you currently worth, and how did you amass that amount of money?
I'm a lawyer. I went to law school and became a lawyer, but I'm also a serial entrepreneur. Well, I don't know exactly how much I'm worth. I used to tell my kids when they were little, when their friends would ask them, are we rich or not? I said, the answer is this: we're comfortable.
What do you mean comfortable?
That's so funny. Only true rich people know that answer. That's such like a monocle on eye level of wealth. It's a guaranteed I have too much. God, everyone wants to be a Twitch streamer these days, even billionaires, huh?
Comfortable, like you definitely have way more than just being comfortable. You live a luxury life.
Yeah, do you call shit? What is happening here? Dude, the society has gone to a place I'm not comfortable with anymore. The fact that like 20 people are just like ready to kill this guy for his wealth. Or not even for his wealth, just for having it. It's like, let's just have a better society, guys. We don't need to like make a video about this.
Worth $1 billion comfortable.
Very. And
would you describe being worth $1 billion comfortable? Very. I describe it as very comfortable, actually. Maybe even super comfortable.
But Florida, I live in Maui.
God, okay. He's doing very poorly in the public opinion sphere. Do they even care anymore? Like, do you remember the days where people are like, no, I'm just like you. I wear the same black shirt every day. I'm just like you. I'm not a billionaire. I'm super relatable tech billionaire type beat. Do they care? Or do these people never care? Do finance people never care?
For the poorest of the poor to get identification, because more and more in this country, you need to have an identification just to get food stamps. I believe when you make this kind of money, you have an obligation to give it back. You don't feel it. It doesn't hurt you. You know, you can look at me and know I'm not missing too many meals. So I don't feel.
Okay, so we've gotten to this point where we're trying to make billionaires. Like, that's late stage capitalism. When billionaires are coming up and being like, look, I'm a good guy. Yeah, dude, he had think of like 50 guys, like 10 times smarter than him, come up with everything he's going to say. If you don't think he has that kind of money, he does. Like, for sure. There's like 50 guys in a room somewhere just being like, okay, what are these people going to say to him? How do we defend it? How do we make billionaires seem cool again? Guys, come on. We don't want him to die. He's who pays our bills.
So I'm going to try to rephrase it. What stops you from getting out that car at the moment where you and your son, and you seen the homeless person? What stopped you from changing that person's life?
Well, I do get out.
Interesting. Like, he answered the question. Like, what stops you from doing it, bro? It's like, we're all kind of pieces of shit at the end of the day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what stops him. He doesn't want to take the time to do it. Like, that's it. You could change that guy's life too. Those are facts. It's harder for them to do it, for sure, which means their time justification is different. But like, we all could.
Out of the car from sometimes. When I pull up to a stoplight and there's somebody out there begging for food, even if they look like they've been eating 10 years, I give them money.
So this is really funny because he goes, even if I see a fat homeless man, I give him money. Like, what are you talking about? The problem isn't that they don't have food. It's that they don't have a home. They're homeless. Some homeless people are starving as well. That's so insane to me. What the actual shit, bro?
Because I'm not going to judge them. I look at them this way. They're out there on the street in the heat. I don't know what they're doing out there, but you know what?
I don't know why they made this choice to live outside. I don't get it. Why did they want to live outside? I like my home. I have 3 of them. I like him so much. Shit, I could have that guy live in my house. But he doesn't want to. Homelessness is a choice, unfortunately. What is he on about, dude?
You're in the law field, and that's how you've amassed your network and everything that you've earned. If you had to start over in a different...
This guy's much more pro-billionaire. You could tell immediately by his tone. His tone is much more like, you've earned it. You deserve this. I think it's going to be softball.
Industry. What would you be in order to become a billionaire again?
That's a super softball. What the fuck? What would you do again to be a billionaire? I don't know. I'd probably rob a billionaire. Like, what do you mean? How are you going to do that again? I probably start a crypto scam. I probably buy Bitcoin in 2003. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
But my gut tells me I want to go to Wall Street and make deals like that. But what I would probably do is stay in the attraction business that I'm in. I love that business because there's no fighting. And I did it as a hobby. I've always thought what I could.
Dude, it's so funny that we let some people like role play life and other people starve. It's like, and then I wanted to be like, I don't know, a line cook. So I did that for a little while. That was fun. It's like, what are we doing, dude?
It was more like collecting stamps than anything, to tell you the truth.
So you
It was more just like a casual hobby I had. You know, you throw a couple billion here, you throw a couple billion. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? It's like, it kind of fell in my lap and I kind of just been fucking around the entire time. Like, I don't really have a point. I didn't do anything to deserve it. Dude, this think tank is smart. They thought a lot about this, dude. Because you think this guy came up with this shit? Fuck no. By his own admission, he's not very smart. Dude, these 50 blokes were sweating so hard. Like, what are we going to have him say? Come on, guys. Think.
You made some comments about liking capitalism
I need to eat.
and how much legislation you did for raising the minimum wage for $15 an hour here in Florida. Is there anyone at your law firm or your multiple businesses that you're paying less than $15 an hour now?
No. And I wasn't paying less then.
Can I be honest with you? Bro comes in with a question that is softer than a wet towel draped over your forehead. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? When your business where you took and made a ton of money, did you pay your employees shit or did they make a good amount of money because they were all rich? Which one was it? Sorry, I just wanted to know. It's like, what? Do you think this is a gotcha? It's not a gotcha. Dude, it's not a gotcha.
Because I believe that a living wage is a civil right. I also believe that retaining employees with a living wage and bonuses, it's good for business. I believe
he's right about that. You should pay people. If they're starving, they don't work well. This is true. We know this. So glad he figured that one out.
More
McDonald's still seems to be unsure about it.
To my employees, I keep them, attrition is lower, and believe it or not, although it sounds backwards, I believe by paying more, I make more.
Brother, yeah, it's not ass backwards.
And my people are really all I have.
I'm just lonely. You don't understand. I can't make friends with my money. Dude, this is too funny to me, dude. Dude, he's actually lonely. He's just trying to make 20 friends today. He's going to his think tank, and they're like, how can we get them not to revolt? And he's like, I just am lonely, and I want to make friends. No one relates to me anymore.
So, in your opinion, why aren't other billionaires doing the same thing that you're doing?
I'm going to guess. I'm going to pre-fire his answer. Well, they are. All right.
Well, I think some are and some aren't. A lot of people have to, like once I raised the minimum wage here in Florida, all of a sudden out of
Dude, you'll notice how you can tell if it was talking points is when they route back. This is a common thing in speech and debate, or really manipulation. It's not even a speech and debate. It's where you take your point and that's your central focus. Everyone else is trying to drive you away from the point, right? And get you to talk about some other topic, like how you're an asshole for not like actually helping, and just manipulating politics with more money, which I don't think should be allowed because that sets a bad precedent for everyone else. So you'll notice when they do this, it's always this central point. When I raised the minimum wage in Florida, always go back to it, right? It's really become, I hate this too. I hate this in politics. This is the strat every fucking person is using these days. It's so annoying. They just all go back to the same goddamn point that they drilled into, and it's too fucking effective. It's too effective. You guys need to wake up, okay? Realize what they're doing.
the blue, Universal raised the minimum wage to $50.
I'd be like, why do you raise it more? How much do you make a year? Like, how much do you make a year? Do you make, you make $3 million a year? Oh, that's 20 times $15 minimum. Do you feel like you make 20 times more value? Why didn't you raise the minimum wage to $25 an hour? So there could be more. If you really believe in wealth inequality, why would you not get a higher minimum wage? Why 15? That's what I do, right? Because he's always trying to drive it back to the point, right? And the way to break this is to drive the point harder, right? So you catch him where he's weak, because that's where he thinks he's strongest. Because now you go, why didn't you do more? Why didn't you make it higher? What's the reason it was 15? Why do you think 15 is a fair amount? You know what I mean? Now he's trapped. He's nowhere to go. Now he has to answer the questions that he doesn't want to answer. Like, that's the whole point. They're trying to drive it away into like other subjects. Why don't you help the homeless man? Because no one fucking helps homeless men, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm sure that guy has not helped a homeless man in his life. You know what I mean? I'm sure he had $5 in his pocket and he just drove by. Like, what do you mean? Like, and homeless men, they don't need money. They need houses, like, primarily. It's like, that's not a good question to me. They got to drive deep inside, right? They got to focus centrally.
$15 an hour.
Got to stop letting them do this.
I kind of took credit for that. At a certain point,
I kind of took credit for that. Interesting.
When wages start to rise, businesses have to respond, because if Universal's paying $15, then Disney's got to pay $15.
Brother, what?
Because who cares if you're running Small World or Harry Potter? You're looking for a job.
So you mentioned a little bit how you've put money into politics and things like that, and in the current political climate in the United States, our government's run by the billionaires, kind of for the billionaires. What do you think the moral role of a billionaire should be within the United States government?
Okay, before he answers, I'm going to answer this question. There is none. A billionaire has no more influence than another person in an economy, in a government. They have a lot of influence in the economy, actually, but in a government, they have no more influence than another person. The whole point of a government as a democracy is one vote, one person, bro. Like, you have as much power as you represent for your individual, like, needs. Like, that's it. So no one should be greatly outweighed, right? So that's my question. They have no ethical. They're the same as everyone else. So if he doesn't answer that, I'll be fascinated, because that's the think tank answer, for the record. That's what he should answer.
By and large, the opposite of what it is. These fat cats got so much money, but they want the tax laws to benefit them. Like, these hedge fund people don't even pay taxes. And so the billionaires are not satisfied with what they have. They want more and more and more.
Dude, this is so funny. The stage and late stage capitalism where billionaires are anti-billionaire is so funny. I'm anti-billionaire. I do have $1 billion, but I'm anti-billionaire. We should be poor.
My worry is this income inequality, at some point there's a breaking point. At some point you can become...
You know what's funny too? I generally kind of believe him here. I think he does realize late stage capitalism collapses, because we know it does. So I think he's seeing the writing on the wall.
And what I would say to these billionaires, you're going to make this gulf so big and so vast, just because you don't think it could ever happen in America. Just remember January 6th. Just remember them storming.
It's with January 6th. Oh my God, dude. That's hilarious. He goes, it could happen to you. That's so funny.
Those were the barbarians at the gate, and they were mad.
Dude, this is crazy. What a shift, man. What a shift. I don't know if this is generally a shift, but when you see stuff like this, generalized talking points, stuff like this is usually a larger push. It's not just this guy. I bet you we're going to see a lot of billionaires come out being like anti-billionaire, which is so insane. It's so insane. What?
As hell. And you know what they're mad about? They were mad because they think they're going to fall further and further behind. They weren't mad, and they thought Donald Trump was the one that could do it for them. But that's why they stormed the Capitol. And when I saw it, I said, that could be our future.
When I saw that, I thought, that could be my house. Fuck! I guess they'd have to get one of the 3 houses. So I have a 1 in 3 shot they would miss, but that could be my house.
I think everybody knows that probably every single billionaire.
I think he really is afraid. He's going on here to plead with the masses for mercy. He sees them building the guillotine and he goes, I'm poor.
Does evade taxes, and he did say that he wants billionaires to be taxed so high, but I can promise you he probably has found ways to evade tax.
Oh, God damn it, dude. Oh, this is not good. When your points don't hit, and in the after interviews, they go, he said they don't want tax, but let's be honest. He's a piece of shit and deserves to die. Like, that's not good. The negative press is too strong. And the problem is because it's not press, right? This is not coming from a source. This is coming from eternal resentment.
Back in around like 1940s, really the tax rate was around like 90s, higher than 90%, right? Would you be somebody that would advocate to bring back such a high tax rate?
Now, he should say, yes, we should have a 90% tax rate if he's doing the think tank thing. He might play a double fist here where he goes, I don't know if we should make it 90%, but it needs to be much higher. There's kind of 2 routes here. The best answer is to say yes, because it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's PR. It doesn't matter. Just say yes. Make it 99.999%. I have so much money, I couldn't even use it. That's the smart answer here.
In order to redistribute the wealth?
I don't know about 90%.
Dude, he pushed back on the think tank here.
Because you got to have some motivation. Listen, I am a capitalist. I believe in capitalism. But I also believe we have to do the most for the most with least.
So when you mention capitalism, right?
so
Capitalism is kind of inherently parasitical, right? You're going to always take more from the workers. You're going to put a profit on their labor.
No. This guy does not understand what capitalism is. I don't blame him. It's a ridiculous concept. I hate it. I always think about capitalism today, and I was like, I think it doesn't work. I'm pretty sure it just incentivizes, like, kind of like the lowest mean, you know what I mean, the shortest stick type beat. And then eventually everyone's drawing shortest sticks. Like, that's, like, I think what it incentivizes. Which maybe he's right then. Maybe it is parasitical. You're right. It is parasitical. My bad.
That they're putting into the business. And I think now we're seeing that capitalism inherently causes these income inequalities. So I think
Yeah, it kind of does. You need a really strong leveraged government to protect it. And even so, I think just have the government have set the like standards for how we should move forward in society is probably more effective anyway.
I think we need to expand those social safety nets. We need
know
to
what I mean? Like
increase
incentivize
taxes on
structures
the wealthy in order to allow the poor to enjoy, the things that maybe you enjoyed when you were younger.
Also, this is so funny. Allow the poor to enjoy. Like, we don't need poor. This guy has the assumption in his head that there will always be a poor. Like, what do you mean? Like, there doesn't need to be a guy that everyone shits on. You guys can get everything you want without shitting on a guy. It's not a problem. Is that what everyone's assumption is? I swear to God.
And things like that.
Well, look, I agree with you.
Feels like it.
And I think it's really for these people who are so rich, they're going to lose it one way or the other if they don't. Because look, the thing about you got socialism and capitalism. Socialism on paper makes.
They always do the socialism on paper strat. They always do this system makes sense on paper. You know what else makes fucking sense on paper? Anything you write down, bro. What are you talking about? Guess what? Capitalism makes sense on paper. It's implemented poorly. What are we talking about here?
Makes a lot of sense. But then you got to count on everybody working. Will they all work? But
no, you don't. Oh my God, I'm going to crash out. Socialism doesn't require everyone to work. Dude, why is it that every single person needs to work to live? What is this cognitive bias? Hi, I exist. I got brought in the world unconditional to my decision. Thanks for that, by the way. Do you mind if I get a little bit of food that you have plenty of? No, you have to work for your food or you will die. Because if you have no purpose, you will die. It's like, dude, chill. Like, give the guy a potato. Like, what are we talking about here?
our country into trillions of more long-term debt. And
they love the debt too. These old guys, they love the debt. We're getting the country in debt. Country's in debt. Dude, none of them understand how the debt of the country works at all.
Look at it and I scratch my head. The rich should be taxed bigger and harder.
But not 90%. That's a little too high.
And so the reason I'm more for capitalism is because if you go to a socialistic country like...
Which one is he going to say? China's a really bad answer here. China's doing great now. And it was also doing great 11 months ago. So, well, they're not doing great. They have problems. Every place has problems. But they're doing better.
France.
France is...
France? France is social? Wait, what?
Not socialist.
Dude, what? Dude, he forgot his cue card. He was supposed to say maybe Norway, which I don't think is socialist either. France? What was the country I was supposed to remember again?
France is not?
No. You look at, let's say China. We'll give China for example.
Oh, is he on the positive China trend?
China's not. China's communism. I've been to China.
Oh, he's on very negative China trends, actually. He's on the absolute opposite of that.
China's not communist.
Huh?
China's not communist. They're run by the...
Yeah, China is... China is a republic, like a socialized republic or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's closer to communism than what we have by 1 trillion miles, but it's not communism.
The Chinese Communist Party, but they're not.
What are they?
They're a socialist country.
Socialist?
Yes. And you look at
I think they're much
I've been to China.
their wealth inequality, and it's actually, pretty good.
China has other problems. China's children are getting studied to death. They need to chill with their exams, which is really unfortunate for everyone else in the world because they're going to be the smartest motherfuckers alive. Dude, they study for like 14 hours a day, every day. Like, you think we could keep up with that? How long did you study for today? 0. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to know all sorts of shit. It's not good. Like, it's good for them, and I want them to, like, I want everyone to prosper, and that will actually help everyone, I think. But, like, if you compare it to how other countries are doing, especially the US, it is not good for optics. Like, I think congratulations to China. I think they're doing a good job, other than some specific issues that I think high amounts of problematic issues with. But generally, I think they actually have a better system than America. The people who are in power, literally, there's a thing in China where it's like, people in China don't work for like money. They work for like China's prosperity. Like, it's like, make China better. Not like my company better. Like, make everything about China better. It's like, if something about China sucks, it's like, fix that. Like, that's their mentality, which I think is way more effective than just like, hey, go take $1 from that guy so you could be richer. You know what I mean? They don't work for money. They do work. I mean, it's like, it's different. They work for money, but the money in their system is controlled much more heavily by the Chinese government, so they can set much more stricter incentives. So, for instance, if the government wanted to send an incentive, in the U.S., it's very difficult for us to send an incentive. We can provide grants and we can do this, but we can't do a lot of specific stuff. If China wants to send an incentive, they could be like, hey, we'll give you money to do this. If you accomplish certain things, you get money, and they can take it away like that if they don't like it. So they have a much more like granular control that's less bureaucratically attached, where they can be like more like, this is working, give them money, give them the resources they need to do it, which is money, and they can control their incentive structure a lot better. Our incentive structure in the US is just like, money, have it. It's like, that's the incentive, get money, which is like a dumb incentive. It's like, why not bridges be your incentive? Why not roads be your incentive? Why not food be your incentive? But all of it's a byproduct in our system. Money is the opposite. It's kind of like, they value more like the guy who built the best bridge. We value the guy who made the most money off of the best bridge. You know what I mean? Like, the mentality of just the culture is very different. They're much more like culturally ingrained and much more like, I'd say like low-key like love your neighbor type beat.
Have I? No.
Let me tell you something. It is the most
fallacy. Just because someone hasn't been there doesn't mean they can't know about it. It's so crazy.
depressed country I've ever been to.
Look, no.
I mean, based off of America's perspective of communication and freedoms, yeah, they're pretty oppressed. But to be honest, they actually like it. They like censorship. They like the cameras. They think it makes it safe. There's an argument to be had whether it does or not, or whether that's like ethical. I don't know. If you could put cameras everywhere and it ends crime, it's like, is that a good trade-off? Probably.
China's not oppressed. Look at China. They have great social safety nets.
You need to go to China and watch the people with their heads down.
This is a completely different China we're talking about. I'm talking
about China today.
I'm talking, yeah, okay, if we're talking about China today, then no.
China's not like...
You have drank the wrong...
There are poor people in China. The biggest problem in China is overwork, actually. This is a big Eastern culture thing as well. They work themselves to like death. There are people, I don't know if it's Japan or China, but it's like there's like a safety net in place where it's like at a certain point, you like have to retire and the company has to give you your severance. So these employees will voluntarily quit so they don't have to pay the company severance so the company can continue to get better.
Late.
We are not working.
I was like, oh, I'm the only Asian person in the room, so it's like so weird to see somebody kind of like debate about a country that my mom is from. I would have to agree with John more in terms of like China being a communist country.
John, I'm a parent, and one of the challenges I have is making sure that you overcome that challenge as a billionaire to make sure your children have their own mindsets.
It's hard to do because they live with you and they hear you.
Yeah, they hear you being like, oh, dear God, I saw poor the other day and I wondered, how could he ever choose to live like that? In the grovel of his own waste. I couldn't believe it. Just get a home, bozo. What are they, like a penny these days?
About life, as you get older, you start listening to your
the other
children, you're like, they're stealing all my shit. I said that, I did that. But what I used to tell them is this: when you're watching me, take the good parts and leave the bad parts. And
God,
the
can I
thing,
be honest? Every parent says this, dude. It's like the most realized thing of every parent. They're like, if you could only be 10% better than me, I've done a good job. Like, pat yourself on the back a little more, buddy.
kids is the only thing that I want you to be. I don't care what you are other than this. I want you to be a compassionate human being. I want you to put other people first. And that's the only mindset that I wanted them to take. And I think that they have done that.
One of my goals, I think, is to make my kids better than me. What's your main challenge?
See what I'm fucking talking about? Every single one, dude, without fail. Also, this guy having none of it right now. I got a billionaire beside me. I thought we were eating the rich. He's like, dude, I am poor compared to this guy. Like, yeah, I'm so much wealthier than you, but like, if you put it in comparison, dude, I am poorer than you are.
Do you see as a billionaire?
Wealth distribution, am I right? Crazy, right? This guy's so rich.
Making your kids better than you.
The main challenge is that your children do not feel entitled. There's nothing worse than an entitled person.
Yeah, a brat is annoying. You don't want to raise a brat. They're always the worst. Jesus Christ. When you raise a kid that's talking about how homelessness is a choice, you know you fucked up. Because they haven't even earned a house yet.
With a silver spoon stuck up their butt. And they...
You should have got the memo. We use ass now. You should have said, the think tank probably advised him on this, with a silver spoon shoved up their ass. That's the better way to say it now. You need to know how to say the right words to come across sincere. A silver spoon up their butt is not sincere. A silver spoon shoved up their ass is sincere.
The worst person in the world. I never bought my kids nice cars because I knew that.
I never bought them nice cars. I never bought them the $1 million cars, only $100,000 cars. They wanted a Ferrari. I said, how about you take a BMW? I'm a good billionaire. I'm one of the good billionaires.
They were going to be dinged.
Don't eat me.
And you have to make your...
Because I knew they were going to be dinged. Wait, hold up, back up. He didn't even buy them nice cars because it was like an ethical thing or whatever. He bought them shit cars because his kids are stupid and bad at driving.
Consequences that are consistent. But the main thing you have to do, if I was giving advice as a parent, you got to spend a whole lot of time. It's all about the time. And remember this, your child is...
If only people had the ability to spend time with their kids.
one friend away from total disaster. And when you see that friend, you got to separate that friend as hard as it is.
What the fuck was this now? If I could give any advice to my children, it's some people to parent. If you see the kid that's picking it, this snot-nosed kid in the corner who you know is going to make your kid into a failure, kick that kid down a flight of stairs so he doesn't have anything to do with your kid. What the fuck? How about teach your kid how to make that kid a better person? Well, that's all. That's a little much too, to be honest. But like, what you said was crazy.
So you just mentioned that when you have a child who is having a friend that you find them to be not good for them, essentially, that you have to do what you can to separate them. As a billionaire, what does that entail for you?
Well, you can only do so.
I sue the shit out of their family so they go destitute. Then they go into a work prison where they'll never have any contact with my kids again because it's in Cuba. That's what I do because I'm a billionaire and I have just the means of everyone else to deal with these situations.
I mean, I've only separated 2 friends.
He makes separated sounds like in half, dude. Like, what the fuck? I only separated 2 friends. I split them right down the fucking middle. What the fuck are we talking about here?
In all the years. And one was a kid who used to come over and, you know, he just reeked of marijuana and he was stoned and I...
Hold on. Back up. Rewind. This is a little edit you could do as well. I've helped legalize marijuana in multiple states. But if I fucking stoners hanging out with my kid, get him. Like, what? What are we talking about here? You're losing the plot, dude. You didn't think you'd be here. You're old. You're 80. You fucked up there. Marijuana good? Marijuana bad? What side are you on, bro?
I just had a bad vibe and I said, look.
This is 100% racism. Can I be honest with you? I bet you so much money that this is racism. A bad vibe.
So-and-so you can't go over there and he can't come over here. My son Matthew
That
was
sounds crazy, bro.
enraged. You can't, my friend, I said,
yeah, I do. I have $1 billion and I can hire someone to get rid of your friend forever. So you better not see him again. Okay? I'm not like other pops, bro. You understand? Papa's got connections.
I'm telling you,
I play different.
you can't go there and they can't come here. But you can't stop
What
them at
the
school.
fuck?
You can't stop them at a certain point. Later in life, I was justified because that kid that I was worried about ended up in prison.
I'm someone who works with youth in Orlando.
I judged that book by cover. I had all the money in the world to get him counseling, to help him, to lift him out of poverty, to do anything I could for him. I was rich as fuck. But later in life, when I did not help that person, they ended up in prison. So what do we say? I was right. That's right. I enforced my own stereotypes upon the world.
I spend
Really brilliant.
every moment of my days to coach and develop the youth in Orlando. And I work
This guy's a nice guy. You could tell.
with at-risk youth. And one of the biggest things in Orlando is that since medical marijuana was passed as a bill.
Hold. Did he catch him? Did you catch him out? Please say you catched him.
Florida, marijuana use has become normalized among the youth and those that are underaged. One of the things that you mentioned earlier is that you didn't allow your son to be friends with someone.
Oh, shit. Look at him right here now. He's like, oh, fuck, I forgot what Jimmy told me. Oh, no. He said to have a continuous story and to not loop back and make inconsistencies. I practice this in the mirror. Why am I so old and stupid? Oh, God, no.
Someone who smoked
Good
pot
job.
because he
Good
smelled
job.
loud and he smoked weed. So why would you advocate for a bill like that to be?
Great. You know what I bet the answer is going to be? The tides were shifting. I like to stay on the popular side of the opinion, you know what I mean? It makes you the most money. What will his answer be here? Honestly, he's fucked. Like, he's going to be like, I probably misjudged that kid at the time, but he did end up in prison, I guess. He's dug himself a hole, dude. I got caught up in some of my old thinking. I shouldn't have done that. And now I'm thinking about it, maybe I should use some of my billions of dollars to help that poor lad.
Someone
But
out
I'm a
of
racist, so I didn't even think of that.
your family's circle who was smoking weed themselves.
When my brother was
It just sounds so much like that, which is crazy work. It sounds so much like the other kids. Like, what the fuck?
paralyzed, they had him on Percocet, Xanax, and everything else.
Oh, wow. He had an answer for this? They really did prepare him. Dude, this cost a lot of money.
The only thing that
This
gave
think
him
tank did good.
relief, immediate relief, was marijuana.
Nah,
Listen,
bullshit.
I believe
Bullshit.
that marijuana use at an early age fries the mind. I drug tested my children a lot. And my son Matthew,
The fuck you say you drug test your children a lot? Jesus Christ, dude. Normal parent alert over here with the weekly drug test. Dude, what happens if they don't have their drug test? Do they lose access to the Bugatti? No, they don't have Bugattis. They only got BMWs because they're stupid and they don't know how to drive because they had to drive the entire time.
failed that drug test a lot. But here's the difference. Would I rather have my brother taking marijuana gummy or opioids, fentanyl? It's a no-brainer. So I don't
This is a good dodge. They prepped for this. Wow, they prepped for this. The kind of prep money buys you is crazy work.
think marijuana use is on the rise. Let me tell you something. If you want marijuana today,
By the way, this is sour. Marijuana is coming out with very bad scientific studies recently.
Yeah. So do you feel
what I mean?
that
What are we doing?
there's an ethical gray area when it comes to use of marijuana or other drugs
Damn, this guy
in
did
the
not
youth
prep.
or in a
Dude, you didn't catch him. But here's what you need to do now. You need to go, okay, so your son did a lot of drugs, blah, 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 blah. You said he tested positive. Do you feel like it had anything to do with your prevention of making sure that he was hanging out with the quote unquote right people? It's like, or do you feel like maybe you put on too much strain on your child so they feel like they have to rebel? Do you think maybe you're the problem? That's a little too much, to be honest. Don't say that. That'll get kicked out of the studio.
Adults in our country, and do you think that that leads to potentially
It's called a straw man, by the way.
ethical gray area for you as a billionaire as it relates to other things in your life?
Medical marijuana, no way. Because listen, where I think the unethical conduct is coming from is from the pharmaceutical industry.
God, dude, he's so like, dude, he has like 50 guys on call being like, dude, we're getting you tapped in. You're always going to be on the right side. Don't worry. When those guillotines come out, you're going to be done chopping. Don't worry, dude. You'll be okay.
Marijuana is
You'll
a
be one of the
plant
good billionaires.
that was
You'll be
put
leading the poor
into earth by God or...
Oh, we got the God. Marijuana was put by God. Guess what else was put by fucking God? Black widows. Thousands and thousands of poisonous plants. This is not an argument for whether it's good or bad. Medical marijuana, marijuana was put there by God. Just like opioids. They come from fucking shit too, dude.
by nature, and it works. I don't know how it works.
I can't believe it, bro.
I don't know how aloe works, but when you rub aloe on sunscreen, it goes away.
It's a coincidence,
so
dude.
I feel very good, morally, ethically, every single way about what I did with medical marijuana. And here's the...
It came out of the earth. Can't be wrong. Can't be wrong.
Proof in the pudding. 1 million people in Florida have a card, and guess who uses
That does not proof of the pudding.
it mostly? People 65 and older. Go.
Yeah, because they don't want to be around anymore. If you're a 65-year-old smoking weed, you want to unplug.
The marijuana stores. Look at the marijuana stores. Look who's going in. It ain't kids. It's me.
Yeah, so I'm still really confused about the
I wanna
marijuana
smoke the
thing.
weed.
I
I'm
feel like
tired.
with a lot of billionaires, they do want to care for
Obviously.
people, but they really don't want them around them. So that's what I feel that you feel with the marijuana.
Yeah.
You're fine with people.
This is like a not in my backyard type argument. I feel like you're cool with the marijuana thing, but like if it's your neighbor, you're like, get that dirty marijuana smoker out of my neighborhood. I'll pay to get his house burned down.
Growing it, you're fine with people doing whatever. But right when it's in your house, you don't really care about the person. You
God,
want
this
them
went over terribly. He did fuck up here.
not around you or your family.
I'd take a gummy every night. It's in my house what are you talking about?
Then why did you kick the person out of your house?
He was a kid who I thought was not just the
Dude, this reeks of racism. This reeks of it. And I'm so like, damn, dude. Damn. Really? Because like it's not about the marijuana, right? Like clearly it's not about the marijuana. So
he reeked of marijuana. He was a kid who I thought was bad news.
Uh-huh.
Smoking marijuana, I thought he was selling marijuana. Look,
Bro. Oh my God.
I think all of Matthew's friends smoke marijuana, and so that wasn't the issue. The issue was this guy might be a criminal. This
Holy shit.
guy is a bad influence. So don't take it the wrong way.
Okay, so you kind of briefly talked on like for-profit
Dude, if this is racism, this is awful.
CEOs and things
this is
like
a real
that.
piece of shit.
I was just kind of hoping to hear your take on the current state of, healthcare.
Especially being like a rich person can help anyone you want and like literally get anyone counseling and raise them out of any amount of poverty. If they're dealing drugs, that means they're trying to make money. Get them a fucking job, you fucking dumbass. This is the end of the line for me. It's like you're a piece of shit because of that. Like I don't care how pretty you put your sentences is. Like that's why you're a piece of shit. Like that's the reason. Because like you looked at someone and said, nah, fuck that guy. He deserves it. And it's like, wow. Huh? Garden Eden, buddy. All God's children? Huh? No? Came from the earth, buddy.
Occurred with their
Fuck
CEO.
that guy.
Before
dude.
I answer that
Dude,
question,
fuck
I want
this
to go
guy.
back to the coach's question about marijuana, just so everybody understands where I stand.
Dude, this guy had an earpiece in. This guy, holy shit, dude. I swear to God. Oh my God, dude. This code red.
If John Morgan was king, I'd legalize marijuana all over the country, and I'd let you grow it at your house. So that's how I feel about marijuana.
Oh, but you can't deal
As far
it.
as the health care, think about
Can't
this.
deal drugs. Oh, but if I was king, I would. But that kid was a criminal. I just had a feeling.
For a minute. There's only one place
pisses
that
me
we
off so
go
much.
ever, and we never ask what it cost. When you go to get your hair cut, what's the cost? When you go to buy a candy bar, what's the cost? When you walk into a hospital, none of us ever ask what it's going to cost. You can get a Tylenol pill over here for 20 bucks. It could be $1 at the other hospital. The of the insurance industry by healthcare is awful. It's off the charts. Our pharmaceuticals in this country are way more money than pharmaceuticals in his favorite country, China. And so you've got...
They love this joke. China, the enemy. This guy likes the enemy. Are you serious?
The healthcare where we don't ask what things cost.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
And then you got insurance companies who are fighting healthcare, and they're trying to gouge. The hospitals are trying to gouge. The insurance companies are trying to not be gouged. They're fighting, and guess who's stuck in the middle? The person who needs treatment.
No, that's the person being gouged.
Who has
it's
cancer.
In the middle, dude.
And they're saying, we're
that's
not going to do this.
Gouge.
We're not going to do that. And then what happens? People go postal. People snap.
So would you be in favor then of a socialized
people die
in the United States?
because they don't get their fucking health care.
I don't know how it will work. Listen,
every other major country has a socialized form of health care.
When Obama was president, he came to my house as president. I supported.
Bro, the fact that he's like, Obama came to my house is crazy work. Like, dude, like that's
Obama
fucking
on the National
weird.
Finance Committee for Obama, and one of the things that I really liked about Obama was Obamacare. A lot of people lost their House seats for voting for Obamacare. So, listen, I'm all ears about anything we can do to get more medicine and more treatment to people. My brother-in-law is a physician up in Haines City, Florida. I have
it's so crazy too. Like every single person who's rooting. By the way, Obamacare still exists all over the place, and it's called different things now. Like each state rebranded their Obamacare into like Tennessee Care or something, but it's all under the Obamacare Act. And since they ripped that out by the fucking roots, like all these states are losing like Tennessee Care, and they're like, wait, that was Obamacare? I didn't know that was I like Tennessee Care. I just didn't like Barack Obama. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Clinic called the Morgan & Morgan Clinic.
Be better for yourself, huh?
He runs it, I fund it, and we take care of everybody who has lost in the system who can't get care.
How do you deal with profiting over other people's injuries in your law firm?
Every business is in business to make a profit. If you don't have a profit, you don't have a business.
Yeah, there are. It's called a non-profit. For instance, that's still a business, for the record.
On the other side of me and on the other side of my clients are insurance companies.
This guy cannot even comprehend the idea of a non-profit. He's like, what do you do with the profits? We don't have any. What do you mean?
Most companies do this. They take in premiums and they try not to pay claims. When they try not to pay claims fairly, that's when I'm hired. When I'm hired, the people who are hiring me cannot afford a lawyer by the hour. And the insurance industry, they live in this world. Deny, delay, defend. Their job is to never be fair with you. The people who come to me at their time of need are people who've had something taken from them. The business I'm in is being the key to the courthouse for people who can't afford it, taking all of the risk, and believe me, I've lost some cases where I've written off millions of dollars. But at the end of the day, the only thing between me and them getting a fair shake from the insurance industry is what we do, which is take them to trial.
If you're such a fucking good lawyer, how would you sue the system for being unconstitutional, huh, buddy? No, but you're not doing that, are you? Because there's not much money in that, is there? Because you're trying to squeeze money out of the insurance companies. So what happens when you squeeze money out of the fucking insurance companies? All right, the insurance company doesn't have enough money to pay claims. So I have to avoid more claims. You're not part of the fucking solution. You're part of the fucking problem, dude. You might help a couple people, but you're just another parasite on the other parasite's fucking back.
So I never even realized it could be this lucrative until I got in it. But I've also scaled it in such a way that most personal injury firms are like, one-trick ponies in one city. I built mine throughout the entire United States, and by having the scale that I have, my profit got a lot bigger.
You have mentioned before that you make money off of people's injuries and stuff like that. Do you think it's ethical to, I don't want to say take advantage of people, but take advantage of people when they're most vulnerable?
I don't know what this guy's talking about. The question being is that you are not taking advantage of the vulnerable, you're helping the vulnerable in his worldview. What you're doing is you're kind of just like getting money because people are taking injury, which is like, why do we want that to be an incentive, huh? Why don't we just want the system itself to reinforce it? And you'll be like, well, no, the insurance people suing those people are what makes that incentive. It's like, oh yeah, I bet it does. I bet that's why healthcare is fixed around. Yeah.
I think what I do is highly ethical. I think that the insurance industry is very unethical. I believe that I'm the difference between people getting back what was taken from them and relying on the insurance company.
He acts like he's the fucking solution, bro.
What
He's
I
not the
do
solution.
is almost, not quite, like a ministry, because people come to me in their most desperate hour, whether they've lost their home, lost a life, lost a limb, lost livelihood.
Of course.
And they have no way to fight back. So I can tell you this, I sleep very well with what I do and why I do it, because I am the civil police representing.
You doing a great job, civil police. That's why healthcare is all fixed.
The people who cannot have a voice for themselves. I got into this business
You're in it for
because
money.
my brother
You're not
Tim
in it to
was
solve the problem.
paralyzed. So
Because
I
guess
got
what?
to
If you
see-
made the fucking insurance companies better, you wouldn't have as many payouts, dude. If the insurance companies were so fucking shitty, you'd have no one to sue, would you? So you're really not incentivized to solve the goddamn problem, are you?
what it's like to be on the other side.
See, this is what I was talking
I got to
It makes
see
me
what it's
so
like
pissed,
to be
bro.
the poor person that's being oppressed.
Poor person.
And I'll tell you
I gotta
what,
walk a mile in
it
his
is the
uncomfortable
worst
shoes.
feeling in the whole world to be hopeless, powerless, helpless. And when you get to step in and even the playing field and say, hey, that ain't gonna happen. And when they try to give you peanuts, we're like, we're not taking peanuts. When I walk into
We're
my
not taking
lobbies
peanuts.
throughout America,
I'm not taking
when I see
peanuts
those
is what he's
clients
saying.
sitting there, I see my brother, I see my family, and I want to treat them exactly the way I would have wanted to be treated.
Do you believe most billionaires and lawyers are compassionate?
I think it all depends on the person. I believe what's helped me in my life was I came from a very difficult childhood with a lot of economic insecurity and alcoholism. Everything bad that you could think happened did happen. But the good thing about those things, if you take it the right way, is those things can generate later in life serious compassion on your part. Whenever I would see somebody homeless,
Guy's been
I
kicked
used to
the
tell my
hardest, doesn't wanna
children,
kick someone
just
hard.
remember this, they don't want to be there. And once upon a time, that was a little girl and little boy eating an ice cream cone, swinging, having the time of their life. And they don't want to be there. And don't judge them because we don't know how they got there.
John, how do you care
But at the same time, you do judge him, dude. This is why it's so bullshit. He's such a lawyer.
for your clients when you're done with them? I know your motto is for the people, but it seems like it's only for the client. Up until a certain point, the award is won, the case is closed. How do you take care of your people after you're done with them?
Here's how I take care of
That's a stupid fucking question. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Dude, look at that face, dude. He's so smug. He's like, I nailed that. I practiced that in the mirror so many times today. I nailed that one.
I change conduct. I just got.
What the fuck do you mean? How do you take care of your clients afterwards? Why are you the best one in the business, bro? Come on. Let me give you a handy. What
a big
the
verdict
fuck?
against Takata airbags down in Miami a few weeks ago. I can promise you this.
You're here for the paid fucking ad? What the fuck?
Because of my cases, Takata is changing their conduct. I'm one of the lawyers on the opioid cases. These pharmaceutical companies were killing us. That's not happening anymore. I have cases against the tobacco industry. The tobacco industry is in the business of premeditated murder. These are evil companies.
No shit, Sherlock.
And so for the
Why are you
people,
going after
not
the root
my
stuff?
clients and people, the people who I'll never represent.
Dude, this guy's
the
like, I
people-
make tons of money selling the heads of hydras. Dude, I make so much money selling hydra heads, bro. You would not believe it, dude. I cut off a hydra head, I come back, there's 2 more. I cut those up, there's 2 more. Holy shit, dude. I make so much money killing these hydras, but only cutting their heads off.
Who will never know me. I'm changing conduct.
My question to you, throughout law school, I heard a lot that lawyers are the reason why insurance costs so much and is expensive. So what is your take on that?
Well, you heard that from the insurance industry. There's been tort reform after.
He's right. You are part of the problem.
Tort reform all across America. And you know why they have this, what's called tort reform, to take away your rights, my rights, their rights. They say, we're going to take certain rights away from you, and your rates are going to go down. But here's what's never happened. They've never tied one of those bills to a mandatory decrease of insurance premiums. These insurance companies take premiums in, they make bad investments, and then they say, oh, the lawyers are causing us to make bad investments. No, the lawyers aren't the problem.
Not, dude. You're saying the lawyers are taking money from us because they're getting money off bad claims, because we only take in, like, we deny as many possible, and that's a mathematical equation of like how many will come back to sue us.
The insurance
and what's cheaper?
Companies who run their companies poorly are the.
If this fucking worked, if suing insurance company worked, they would be fixed.
Problem, and they just want bigger profits.
We've sued them for billions of dollars. Yes, because they have billions of dollars, and they're clearly doing a little bit of mathematics and paying you off.
And by the way, when you go home, Google their profits. Google what their CEOs are making.
This fucking guy's
They're not hurting. They're making a lot of money.
If you lost all of your wealth tomorrow, what would be your next step in this struggling economy? Do you think you could pull it off? Do you think you could be just as successful?
I think if I did this again, I would not be this successful. This has been a series of left turns.
Every billionaire says the same thing. If I had to redo it, I'd be a millionaire. Every time. I wouldn't be a billionaire. That's just luck. I'd be a millionaire, probably multi-million.
Turns and right turns, and all of a sudden you end up
Every
here.
time.
I'm not
Every
arrogant
fucking time.
enough. I believe that 99% of what's happened to me is luck or blessings or whatever you want to call it.
I'm a
Jesus
pastor,
Christ looks down
and
on my...
one of the core tenets of many faith systems in the world is a rejection of possessions and wealth. Do you feel like you had to sacrifice part of yourself or your faith or your family to be able to get where you are today?
Not at all, because my faith has been
My faith is what I follow, and it obeys my rules.
at the forefront of everything I've done. It's
God damn it,
the teachings from my faith guide me not only in my life, but in my business life. And those
God, if only
lessons
we'd have half
are
faith
fairly
here,
clear to
If only
me.
we couldn't
Do I think
just
I need
have
to take a
faith
vow of poverty? I don't think so. If I'd done that, I would have been a Catholic priest. So no, I have never found a conflict in making money in my faith. I think the conflict would be if I made money and didn't use my money for what I've been taught to use.
What if your money is part of the problem? Do you feel conflict there? What if that was proven? What if I could prove to you?
Use
See what I mean?
my money for.
They wouldn't even care.
What my goal
They'd be like, I
is I don't live
my
anywhere
money, I earned it.
near what I make, except my jet, and that is excess. But I don't.
My jet. Dude, God, you don't need to mention the jet, bro. You don't need to
live that
mention
way,
the jet.
and my goal now is that I think my children are set. I do not want to leave the government one penny. I think that, if you want to see your money.
Holy shit, dude, they really hate this. Like, we should pay more taxes. Same fucking video. I'm not going to leave the government one penny. I decide where my money goes. It's like, dude, really?
Wait, and what I want to do.
And then everyone nods. Like, the whole point of a government is to better the people. I tax dodge, but it's for a good reason.
Is I want to do as much as I can while I'm alive and leave a huge amount of money into a foundation, and that will say at that foundation, faith without works is dead.
I personally work at my family's cafe, and I was wondering how much do you normally tip customer service workers that are in serving positions?
$100. And I'll tell you why. We're a member of 3 different churches in my
Back up. Customer service workers that are in serving positions.
$100. And I'll tell you why.
He tips them $100. He tips the Wendy's worker when he goes there once in a blue fucking moon $100. And I'll tell you why. Because I can't hold that many. What the fuck you talking about? Why is 100?
We're a member of.
Why is that such an arbitrary fucking number?
3 different churches, and my wife gives away. I don't even know what she gives to these churches. But I am much more
I don't even know what my wife spends money on.
interested in leaving $100 tips for my servers and for the people who cut my hair than throwing $100.
Why not more, though? Why not more?
dollars in the collection plate because $100 to somebody can change their day.
But a homeless man would just buy drugs with it. So I only give him a 20.
I got a case one time where a little boy was killed by a bus in Jacksonville. My investigator called me and said, I just think I'd tell you how we got this case. I said,
My investigator
said, how?
All right.
Said, the woman met you once. Said, when did she meet me? 5 years ago. Where? It was Christmas Eve at Bob Evans. And I went there for breakfast with my daughter. And she told my investigator, and he left me a $100 tip. That's why she called me.
And that's why I leave a
cafe.
$100 tip. You never know what that tip could get you. That case made me $1 million. And that's why I leave a $100 tip.
He is, but let me know and I'll come in and
Amazing.
leave you a $100 tip.
I'll definitely let you know. That's an amazing tip. Thank you, John.
Do you believe it's justifiable?
Motherfucker acting like he got a $100 tip, bro. Thank you. Thank you for giving me. Wait, you didn't even get the money, blood.
Be worth to live in poverty?
No.
That's
If
so
I could
funny, dude. He's living a fantasy right there.
The same, that's what I would do.
Okay, and do you believe, because I heard something about how you don't agree with the government spending, which I actually do agree with, so how would you split up the money?
Don't let the government do its job. I'm around to bite you in the ass.
To the most with the least. I believe that there are people that are, and I don't believe.
Flip it around. Robin Hood, the whole fucking shit. This is my idea. Okay? You take the rich and you give it to the poor. And then the poor are now the rich, right? And then you take the new rich and you give that money to the poors. And then the money cycles around and we have an insane GDP because we're taking millions of dollars and we're making rich people and poor people every day. That's my idea.
But I know it. When you go out to the Morgan
It's a $1 million
Relief
idea.
Center, the people that are walking in there are not the homeless.
I can't believe this guy.
They're walking in there dressed in work clothes with their children to get free food. The people that are walking in there are not the homeless.
Not the homeless. What the fuck was that? They're just regular people who have homes and can be respected. They're not the people who choose not to live in a home. God, no. Those people, I'd hate if they came to my food shelter. I'd kick them out. Only people with homes can eat in my food shelter. Where are you going to eat the food? On the street? Like some bum? Dude, why?
They're walking in
they
there.
all hate the homeless so much. I hate this so much. You can hear it, dude.
With their children to get free food.
It pisses me off so much.
It's an abomination.
Yeah, because I go to the
God, just get a home. I got 3. Stop living like this. It's crazy.
University of Florida, because I remember you mentioning it. And one thing I've noticed as a college student is that there is a lot of corruption throughout it, from the president, even from student government, funneling millions. And then when I look into to see what happened to them, nothing really happened. They didn't go to jail or anything.
Look, the University of Florida, they hired this president who was just a buddy of the governor's, and he came up there and raped the University of Florida and took so much money, and he's still on the payroll, Ben Sass.
Yeah, that's what a lot of college students are talking about.
It's an outrage. And by the way, when you Google those articles, the alligator, I'm all over those all over those articles, ripping him a new.
So you just mentioned that everyone's a politician
being
now,
his
but
fucking thing. Morgan and Morgan. Asshole.
you also said that you
Those
also have
assholes.
done at least 2
More and
different
more.
things with legislation. So would you consider yourself to also be a politician?
Sorta. You know, there's everybody
Would you
wants me
consider
to run
yourself
for
to be a bit of a
governor of Florida
politician?
right
I dabble in all sorts of industries. I think I'm a food chef. I think I'm a cook person. I think I'm a dog, jogger. I do all sorts of things. I love to experience all walks of life. It's like, dude, you are such a cosplayer. It's
now.
crazy.
When I'd go to the White House, they'd take me over to the side and show me polling on me. And there's a side of
I'd
me
go to the White
that thinks I could be good at it, but then there's
I go to the White House. When I visit the White House, God, it's a beautiful building. You should visit.
the side of me that really enjoys living in Maui half the year.
I just wouldn't think I'd like to live in the White House. I'd be president, but I don't think the White House is the house for me. I like Maui.
So I became
The most awkward laugh you've ever heard from everyone. Okay.
sort of a politician because, listen, they were fighting me hard.
They were fighting him hard. Not soft. They fight this guy hard.
On the minimum wage. They were fighting me hard on medical marijuana.
A little uncalled for me there, but
I was out
Hey, what's little Ann hobbing on here and there?
debating sheriff.
This guy knows. This guy knows.
And everybody I
He's
was
a lawyer.
debating had a green suit on and a gun. So it's like, you know, a little hard to debate them. So I was sort of a politician because I was in the political realm. And that's why all this talk about me, about people wanting me to run for governor is percolating.
So today, I think we've all sat here.
He just soft launched his governor run. This is why I hear people talking about wanting me to run for the governor of Florida. Is that right? Was that, did I hear that? Did you say that? No, I didn't say that. What? No, I didn't say you would run for I wanted you to run for the government. You want me to run for the government of Florida?
Here, and we've heard you talk about your jet.
The hardest soft launch of all time.
Your 3 homes and the money that sits in your account that
He's a billionaire. He deserves 3 homes. What?
you don't care to touch. I think we all have experienced at some point in time that moment that you talked about as a kid, sitting there hoping and praying that somebody would help you. So I guess my question that you didn't really answer, you just told me how much you have. What stops you from helping every person in this room that's struggling right now, that can't pay a bill, had to miss?
This is tough for him because he's sort of left with one solution here, which a think tank has thought through. And it's you're going to need to give $2 million away right now in this room. It's the only option. You're going to need to change every fucking person's life in here. If they don't leave this building rich, this is tough. You're not going out of this well. I hope you set aside some money for this. I hope you took an arbitrage account here for like if this question got asked.
It's out on work.
Put it on Kalshi.
You help them. What do you do? Because you got.
It's like if this question gets asked, I'll make $1 billion. If it doesn't get asked, I'll pay it out. Either way, I never lose.
A private jet.
Finances.
I had to take off from work today, and I'm struggling. I got bills, man. And
exactly.
I'm not begging for money.
Pay his fucking bills, dude.
But I'm saying, what stops you from being able to go and help us?
Think tank. Think tank. How much money do you think he's going to give him? How much money? How much money? How much? How much? I'm saying $1,000 each. If he tips 100 for a wait staff, I say $1,000 each. That's what I say. What would I actually give if I was trying to fucking mob this room? I give 10 grand each. It's just enough, right, where it hits the headline. This guy gave $200,000 to a Jubilee contestants? What? It's going to be so much lower than that. Because that's the mog. Because more is useless. 50K, 60K, 70K, it starts to not even matter, right? Until you hit $1 million. That's like, this guy gave $1 million. And that's PR stunt, works well. 10K, you get 2 ladders. You get 10K for each or $1 million for everyone. Those are the 2 PRs you can go for.
And change our lives. Because.
Let me give you 100 while we're here.
Ooh. That's unfortunate for him. 100? $100? By the way, let's just do a little bit of analytical zoom here.
And I'm not begging for money, but I'm saying, what stops you from being able to go and help us and change our lives? Because.
Let me give you 100 while we're here.
Not a good look. Not a good look also. This is how you do it, by the way, if you're curious. You stand up, you take the wad out. I want to help people. What do you mean? Boom, 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 boom. So I can't answer your question. I gave you this piece of paper to dodge the question. Also, good point. He did just dodge the question. Also, 100 is way too cheap to dodge this fucking question. God, he's like, really? You're a billionaire and you gave me $100 right now? Dude, that's like not even the price of my internet bill, bro. Like, what do you mean? That barely covers anything. Dude, $100? Come on, dude. Oh, come on. Could give me a little more.
Let me give you 100.
Don't give money like this, dude. Give money like this. Stand up, hand it to them, shake their hand, be like, I'm happy to help. It's the least I can do.
No, man.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit.
Don't buy marijuana.
Holy fuck. Don't buy marijuana. To the black guy in the video you just handed $100 to. This guy is a fucking piece of shit. Oh my god.
No, I don't smoke.
At
I
the
don't
middle
drink.
school.
No, man.
So that confirms it for sure. There was racism before. Like 100%. I called that 100%. That's a crazy thing to do.
Nothing
Holy
stops me.
fucking
Listen,
shit.
here's how.
Walk me back here. This guy comes up to him, asks same question. Does he hit them with the don't buy marijuana, the thing I support and think everyone should be able to have? Do you think he hits that guy with the question? Do you think he hits him with that? Look into it. Google this guy. Google it. Find out. I'm sure there's stories.
Nothing stops
I'm
me. Listen,
sure there's
here's
stories.
how I look at it.
Dude,
I went
he's 80, dude. He grew up in like an age of like mega racism.
to a
like,
religious retreat one time under duress. It was called a Crescio.
This is pretty like clear, dude.
And I thought it was going to be a
This
bunch
is
of
really unfortunate.
and it was basically a bunch of but at the very end, it all came down to
Why would a billionaire display racism in front of the whole world? Because he's racist. Why would a racist display racism in front of the entire world? Like, that's the whole reason. Dude, he is a race. He is systemically and subconsciously and maybe consciously racist. Just because you have $1 billion doesn't make you not a racist. Like, you hit $1 million and you go, wait a second. I think all people are equal. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't just happen. That's crazy. Don't buy drugs with it, okay? I know that's what you were planning on doing.
one thing that I took from that meeting. And here's what I took. I can't
Jesus
change
Christ.
the whole world. I would love to be able to. But the phrase that I took from that Crescio weekend was, bloom where you're planted. What does that mean? That means I can't solve hardly anything. But every once in a while, I'll get a God whisper, somebody asking. Then I think back to that Crescio, and it's like, bloom where you're planted. And I feel like at this moment, that's what I'm being asked to do. And I can only do so much. I'm trying to manage my money.
He's been PR trained, and he still does that. After PR training, he still hits him with the don't buy drugs. Holy fuck, dude. Dude, that's shocking.
So that at the end of it all, it can have the greatest bang for its buck.
You know, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not sure if there's anything that would have been a perfect answer, just because he's really good at talking to you and he's a likable guy. And he's soft in the eyes, so it's easy for him to get you on his side. So I don't know if there's anything he could have said that would have completely changed my mind. But I think showing your actions, he handed me $100, but there were people in the room had told their stories throughout the day. And with a wad of cash in your hand, you could shut me up, but he could have given it to everybody. He could have shown in that moment that he has the power to change your life, and he could try to change your life. Even if it's a small amount, it's better than nothing. And he didn't really do.
Yeah, he gave me enough to pay my Xfinity bill this month. In cash. Like in cash. I gotta go to the ATM. They take a fee, bro.
Do that.
One of the takeaways I took is there was a quiet desperation, a little bit of a worry.
Is he gonna do it? He has to do it. He actually has to do it. God.
Worry about the future and a little resentment about people who have money.
I think billionaires are.
He didn't do it. I want to help people. I want to give people money. But now you fucks.
Inherently parasitical to society as a whole. No matter how they accumulated that wealth, they're always going to be profiting off of the backs of people who are doing the work. In his case, he's the better of evil system in general, while he is helping injured people get the settlement that they feel they deserve.
Didn't even help.
He is still profiting off of advocating for that injury.
I'm of the volition that there's nothing wrong with billionaires. I am a rabid capitalist, and I know John talked about that a lot, but that is who I
Playing for the wrong team, brother.
am. That is my background.
Capitalism is for the lucky, dude.
I think that if you have a financial wealth, yes, you should definitely do good things with it, and you need to help the people around.
This guy's trying to network with a billionaire today.
you. That's just moral code. But I don't believe that billionaires are inherently bad or, they're out to prove world domination or something of the sort like that.
I think a lot of the questions are going to help me reflect on those questions
This guy
and
blundered.
what I should and am doing.
All right. I'm of the personal opinion, he is a pestering sore that's covered by some nice cashmere. That's my theory. He can barely hold it in, for the record. It's like skin deep at best. But let's see what people think in the comments. Bro skipped work. Oh my God. That's the top comment? He's a billionaire lawyer. You know you're going to cook y'all in debate? Holy fuck, dude. Bro's a perfect example. Helping people will still never be enough for many. Oh my God. Oh my God. Society is fucked. I thought these comments were going to be much more anti-billionaire. Why am I turning purple? Dude, the camera's freaking out. It's probably overheating or some shit.